Let's see. Shalom, Erev Tov to everyone on YouTube and on the Facebook. There we go. I see us now on the YouTube and the Facebook. It's all set. Okay, hide that for now. Close this. Okay. I was there yesterday for Rabbi Karen's Ma'ariv. That was very nice. The first one since the holidays, and it felt like it was like reassuring. It was nice to be back to the usual, The holidays were amazing. Rabbi Steve, that was incredible the way he did all that. And he still has a voice. I talked to him today as if nothing. Incredible. That shows you how well he's trained, You can do all that and not lose your voice. Okay. All right. Well, let's get this started. Pull up the screen here. And I got my... Is it too cheesy to call this a ukulele? Maybe. Welcome everybody to Sim Shalom Online Synagogue. My name is Rabbi Elias Wang, I think. And today we're going to pray the Ma'ariv together to begin the 13th day of the first month of the year 5784. Oh, I have to change my audio settings. Just a second. Original sound is on. Okay, good. False alarm. All right, now I can see you all too. All right, time for some Hine Matov. Hine Matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. And now the official beginning of any good Ma'ariv. והוא רחום יכפר עוון ולא ישחית, והרבה להשיב אפו ולא כל חמתו. אדוני הושיח המלך יעננו ויום קוראנו. Ziona, would you read the bottom part for us, if you're able to unmute and do that?
God, being merciful, grants atonement and does not destroy. God restrains wrath and refuses to let rage be all-consuming. Save us, Adonai. Answer us, our sovereign, when we call.
It's a nice change from the Yom Kippur tone, It's good to remind ourselves. Time for the Baruch Hu. Marvin, you're here. Would you like to Baruch Hu for us this evening?
Baruch Hu es Adonai Hamvarach, Baruch Atah Adonai
Hamavarach.
Le'olam Va'ed.
Amen. Blessed is the eternal, the blessed one. Blessed is the holy presence, now and forever. And in the past too, but that goes unsaid. Now it's time for the Ma'ariv Arivim, where we remind ourselves that Hashem put us on this spinning rock around this bright, glowing orb of nuclear fission, actually. Is it fission or fusion going on in there? Either way, it's fusion?
Fusion.
I think it's fusion, yeah.
Good to know. You see, you get some astronomy here, as well as some Judaism. So here we are, spinning around this massive orb of nuclear fusion on this rock that happens to be perfectly situated, not too close and not too far, in the Goldilocks zone for life. And we're on this planet when it's already been bombarded by comets and all these things after it turned from magma into rock, after the little bacteria turned into little fishies and crawled up on the land, and then here we are. What a time to be alive. How amazing is it? Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Arivim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening, and blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Especially you, Ellen Friedman. Welcome. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chokim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochvenu uv'kumenu nasiach b'chokecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvehem nagei yamam v'layla, ve'ahavatecha al tasiyah mamenu le'olamim. I'd like to call on a volunteer to read the Jules Harlow translation on the right. By show of hands, who's interested? Amy from Old Bridge.
That's if it's okay that I'm here. I mean,
Of course, you're welcome.
I didn't think I was, okay. Your love has embraced us always in wilderness and promised land, in good times and in bad. Night and day, your Torah sustains us, reviving the spirit, delighting the hearts, informing the soul, opening the eyes, granting us a glimpse of eternity. Because of your love, we shall embrace Torah night and day in devotion and delight. Beloved are you, Adonai, whose Torah reflects your love.
Amen. Very well read, Amy. I'm just saying, I missed your comments because I wasn't looking at the chat when I started. Of course you're welcome, Amy, always. And Ziona says you've been sick with chronic headaches. May you be rested and may you have refuah shlema. We'll get to
Not
that.
headaches. No, it wasn't headaches. It was a car accident that a truck sideswiped me and totaled my car and fractured my vertebrae
Oh,
and screwed up my cervical spine.
well, that's very
Well, bad.
unfortunate. You'll feel better very soon as well, Amy. But I was speaking about Ziona, who wrote in the comics that she's been having headaches, and we're wishing you a refuah shlema as well, Ziona. And I have a message delivered by Ellen Rose's son, Aaron, that she would like to attend tonight, but her doctor's appointment is running a little bit late. She's been having some pain in her leg, and she needed to go get an x-ray. So we're going to be praying for the healing of Ellen Rose as well later on. Let me just see if anyone's on the socials. Shalom to everyone, the 3 of you watching on YouTube and the 2 of you on Facebook. Erev Tov, welcome. Feel free to write in the chat. I'll check every so often and we can talk, we can schmooze, we can kibitz, the usual. Okay, there we go. Back to the praying. The Shema, the whole point we're here. Who would like to lead us in the Shema tonight? Just the first line or 2 if you prefer, whatever your tradition is.
I would.
Ellen Friedman, you're welcome. Yes, please.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Do I go on? Baruch Shem Kavod Makuso Leolam Vaed.
Thank you, Ellen. I was muting myself because there was a siren outside. The president's in town today where I am, and he came, I think, election fundraising. They usually come here for fundraising. So there's been a lot of closed off streets and a lot of police doing all kinds of things. So I apologize if you hear some of the sirens. That's probably what it is. And I will do the V'ahavta for everyone. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha beveitecha uvleftecha v'derech uvshochbecha uvkumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. Oh, did you hear that? That was Chinoki, Ellen Rose's cat. She's watching, I'm sure. She is a very observant Jewish kitty. She said emet, therefore it must be true. Okay. Hashkivenu, let us lie down, Adonai, in peace, and let us rise up our King to life. Spread over us your protection of your peace, and give us good counsel before you, and save us for the sake of your name. Spread over us the sukkah of your peace. Blessed Adonai are you who spreads the dark over the earth every night and keeps us safe. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim, uvchos aleinu sukat shlomecha, v'tamidenu be'etza tova milpanecha, v'hoshienu lema'an shemecha, uvchos aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al ve'al Yerushalayim. Now we continue. Baruch atah Adonai, shomer amo Yisrael la'ad. Blessed are you, Adonai, who keeps and saves your people Israel forever. Now from the Siddur, Rabbi Deborah Mackenzie, we talk about gratitude. It can be very difficult during the day to get back to that place with all the comings and goings, and often we feel so alone, we feel so afraid. It's important to stop and to acknowledge the goodness in our lives, the goodness that happens all the time, all around us. So, in that vein, I'd like to take a moment and give everyone a chance to think about what they'd like to say. If you would like to participate, if you'd like to write in the chat, that's fine as well, on YouTube or on Facebook. And we can all acknowledge the loved ones in our lives, our own achievements, the lessons we've learned, the kindnesses and good fortunes we've experienced, the joy in our hearts and our spirits when they express gratitude, a sense of peace, and one of any of the many and varied blessings in our lives. So let's think for a second and then we can talk. Amy, would you like to go first?
Yes, I'm grateful that even though I'm hurting and I'm gonna hurt for a while, that I got out of that car accident alive. My car may have been totaled, but I didn't get totaled.
Amen. Story of the Jewish people, no? The car might have been totaled, but we weren't totaled. There you go. That's the Torah. Thank you, Amy. Ziona, would you like to go next?
I am thankful for the divine gift of knowledge. I learned something new about Judaism today, and I'm completely floored that I'm in my 60s and never knew this fact.
What did you learn?
I learned that Chol HaMoed does not mean you can do whatever you want, and that that there are indeed halachic restrictions. And now I have to rethink my Chol HaMoed Sukkot plan.
Yes, I was reading in my Luach, my rabbinical handbook, about what changes need to be done for the upcoming holiday of Sukkot. And there is a lot of disagreement, actually, including about whether to put on your tefillin or not, whether that's, in Ashkenazic tradition you do, in Sephardic tradition you don't. And so it's very interesting. I'm learning a lot as well. Thank you for sharing that, Ziona.
Wow.
It's kind of embarrassing, but knowledge is always better than ignorance.
Absolutely.
I mean, embarrassing that it took me this long to find out. But like I said,
Please.
There's a lot to learn. We're all learning all the time. We're all constant.
Yeah, it's true.
Let me see. Toby writes in the chat, I'm thankful for this day and mental health. Amen. It's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Toby. Reba writes, I'm grateful that Amy will be starting a new job after she takes her test. Mazel tov, Amy. And she had a great struggle trying to find work. That is wonderful news. Mazel tov, Amy. And Amy writes, thank you so much, Reba.
And my other news announcement is I got taken off of one of my insulins, got taken off of one of my diabetes medications, and I've lost 47 pounds.
Wow. God is blessing you with such health, with such renewal. This is a wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Amy. That's great. Barbara Kirsch on YouTube. Shalom, Barbara. Barbara writes, Emet, Toda Rabah. Thank you, Emma, and thanks, Ziona. Barbara's learning too. You see, in you learning, Ziona, you're helping all of us learn.
Yeah.
And Andy, shalom, Andy. Andy writes on Facebook, grateful for the energy to go to therapy and not give up. Amen. Is that not a wonderful thing? The energy to not give up is sometimes all we need for all of the other blessings to come to us, right? Because we're often thinking that we're in charge of bringing all these blessings into our lives, everything that we want, everything we desire, everything we know we're meant for. But the truth is, all we have to do is exactly what Andy just said. We have to have the energy to show up. The rest is, rest happens. So bravo, Andy. That's great. Joanne, would you like to go next?
Yes, I'm very grateful. I have a very close friend named Julie. And Julie unexpectedly suddenly lost her husband about a month ago. And she's been grieving and in hiding. And she actually reached out to me this morning that she would like to see me tomorrow. And I know I'm the first person that she's allowed back into her life. And I'm just so grateful that she chose me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And that says something about you too. When you get into when we all have been in places like that, where the worst thing in the world happened and we feel completely shut off and alone and no one would understand. And eventually there is someone who we feel like is that key that we can use to open the door back into our own lives. And you being that key for her is a big blessing.
It is.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin.
Good health. My heart failure numbers are better.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Wonderful. I'm glad you're going to the doctor and getting, staying on top of it. Good.
Yeah, he wants me to do more blood work in 2 weeks.
Well, 2 weeks is a good time to do blood work. Why not? Thank you, Marvin. Ellen Friedman, would you like to go next?
Yes, I'd like to thank everybody from Sim Shalom and Anshe Sfard, my brick and mortar synagogue, to be so good to me during the holidays. I've enjoyed my holidays so much, and we still have 2 beautiful holidays to go before Hanukkah.
Yes.
And I just want to express my gratitude for that.
Amen. Thank you, Ellen. Rudolph in Munich. You're in Munich, right?
Yes. I'm thankful for this service and for everything that I can experience while being here, while participating. And I'm also thankful for my wife and for everything else that Hashem gave me.
Amen. Isn't that funny? It's the wonderful thing about the modern age is I see you, Rudolph, in Munich almost every day. My own family lives 50 miles from here, and I see them much less than that. So it's amazing, how we can create community online like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really special that you show up every day like this, even though I'm sure, what time is it there?
1:22 a.m.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Rudolph. Would anyone else like to share? Let me just look over. I think is anyone not gone? I think we got everybody. Barbara writes, I am so thankful for our community. Sim Shalom. Amen. Thank you, Barbara. And Anna, excuse me. Shalom, Anna. Anna writes, grateful accidentally found you guys. This is my first time. I am in Egypt, i.e. Texas. LOL. Welcome, Anna. I'm happy you found us as well. You're welcome anytime. We have services Monday through Thursday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then Friday we start a half hour earlier because Rabbi Steve does a musical concert for about half an hour. So you are welcome. So let's do the official prayer of gratitude. We proclaim that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors throughout all of time. You are the rock of our lives, the shield of our salvation in every generation. We thank you and praise you for our lives are in your hand, for our souls that are in your charge, for your miracles that are with us daily, and for your wonders and gifts that accompany us at all times, evening, morning, and noon. You are good, and your mercy everlasting. You are compassionate, and your kindness never ending. We have always placed our hope and our hope for peace in you. Modim anachnu lach shetachu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu leolam va'ed. Ve'al kulam yibarach v'yitrohan v'yitnaseh shmicha melkenu tamid leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shmicha ulecha ne'eh lehodot. For all these goodness and blessings we shall ever praise and exalt you. May every living creature thank you and praise you faithfully, God of our deliverance and our help. Praised are you, Adonai, the essence of goodness, to whom it is worthy to give praise. There we go. Ikadal v'ikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon ub'chayedachol Beit Yisrael, b'hagala ubizman kariv, b'meru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam ulal me'al maya, Yitbarach, v'ishtabach, v'itba'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithaleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudsham richu, le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, dahamiran b'yalma, v'yimeru, amen. Blessed, praised, and glorified, exalted, extolled, and honored, magnified, and lauded be the name of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Through God be high above, and all the blessings and hymns and praises and consolations which are uttered in the world. And we say, Amen. Now it is time for the Amidah, the standing prayer. We acknowledge we are standing in the footsteps of our ancestors and in the threshold of our destiny. Please rise in body or in spirit for the Amidah. Let the strength of our ancestors give us the strength. Wait, I missed the first part. Let the strength of this community and the strength of our ancestors give us the strength to search for our path back to the Blessed One. Adonai, Sephatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol v'Zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot U'Mivi Geola Livnei v'Nehem Leman Shemo Ba'ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeh Kol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal for just a few more weeks. Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofe Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Ba'am Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata Lechayot Metim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye HaMetim or Hakol. We pray silently and we continue the Amidah on our own. Oseh Shalom Bimromav הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, shalom aleinu v'yam kol Yisrael. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and all life on earth. And let us say, Amen. Now it is time for the Misha Berach, where we call on Adonai to send a refuah shlema, a refuah tanefesh, refuah taguf, a healing of a full healing, a healing of body, a healing of mind, a healing of spirit to everyone who needs it, especially those in our lives who we've encountered who are struggling with their health at the moment. Foremost on my mind is Ellen Rose, our dear friend and congregant who is currently getting an x-ray for her leg. We love you, Ellen. We're sending you a lot of healing vibes right now. If you would like to write in the chat on YouTube or on Facebook or on Zoom, also let me stop the share. We can go around on Zoom and say the names, if you like, of everyone you're thinking of healing for right now. And then we can say the prayer for everyone all collectively. Who would like to go first? Ellen, I see you're unmuted.
Okay, I'd like to pray for Ellen Rose and for Sherry Clammer and for Joy Wagner, Joe Briones, Sharon Briones, and I said Sherry Clammer, and myself, Ellen Friedman. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Joanne.
I would like to pray for Julie O'Connor. I would like to pray for Sharon Nee and Sharon Carson, for Deb Adore. Oh, Sarah Gray and her mother Kathy, that they should open their hearts to each other and let it go. Yeah.
That's a good one. It's important to remember healing is required when we have disagreements with each other.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Joanne. Rudolph, would you like to go next?
I'd like to pray for my sister-in-law, Erica, and also for Alan D., who is also cancer patients, and for all cancer patients in the world.
Amen. Thank you, Rudolph. Marvin Gruber.
Dawn Allnut, Chrissy Allnut, Nelson Respaldo, my brother, myself.
The Grubers. Amen. Thank you, Marvin. Amy, would you like to go next?
Yeah, Rabbi Gali, Albert Madison, Valerie Madison, Maxima Valerie, Tamara, Carol, Beth and her dad, Rabbi Wolkoff and his family, Ellen Rose, Ellen Freeman, Marvin, let's call him a different name, that was dumb. Dakota and Bella, Denise, and Yaakov Foxenbaum, who has COVID.
Amen. Thank you, Amy. And Ziona.
Avabat Elsa, Probat Ethel, all survivors of violence and natural disasters, and myself, Ziona Bat Chava.
Thank you, Ziona.
Oh, and the family of Brooks Robinson, who just died recently, I guess yesterday.
Thank you. We'll pray for all of them. Toby adds his husband and Andy, Sephora, Tracy, Ellen Rose, and all seem shalom, and Granny Franny. Thank you, Toby. Here we go on YouTube. Lisa is praying for Alexis Robb. Barbara Kirsch is praying for Paul in Australia with cancer. And Lisa Jacob adds Michael Ford and all survivors of PTSD. Amen. Very important. Thank you, Lisa. And on over here on Facebook, Andy writes Misha Berach for Toby, Kurt ben Norma, Deb, Roland ben Margaret, Andrea Bot Marcy, and Ellen Rose plus Team Warner. Okay, looks like we got the names all done here. I would like to, did we miss anybody? Yeah, Ziona said herself. I was going to say you if you didn't say yourself, Ziona. So you got yourself. I think, oh, my friend Susan's brother, Michael. up in Washington State. We're praying for Michael still. Let's get to the prayer now. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health, to be restored to their strength, be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. Yishaberach Avutenu v'Imatenu Avraham, Yitzhak v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, Yevarechet HaCholim, those who we have mentioned here today. Sephora adds Granny Franny, all who suffer PTSD, and Ellen Rose. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimlei Rachamam Aleichem, Lechamlicham u'lerapotam, v'lechazikam v'yishlach lehem mimra refuah, refuat shlima, min hashamayim, refuat hanefesh, u'refuat haguf, hashta b'agala, v'vizman kariv, v'nomar. Amen. Sending all of that love, all of that healing energy in our hearts right now to everyone who has been mentioned here tonight. May they all find healing quickly and fully. Please rise in body or in spirit for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedulat liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu ki mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. Barbara Kirsch adds Rala in Minnesota, as well as herself, Barbara Kirsch, for healing. We're sending you lots of love and healing energy, Barbara, as well as to Rala. Ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Katuv b'toratecha Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz Bayom hahu yehiye Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Time for the Mourner's Kaddish, where we remember those who are no longer with us physically, but always with us spiritually. If you're observing a yard site or you are currently in mourning, I invite you to speak the name aloud on Zoom, or write in the chat on Zoom, Facebook, or YouTube, those you're remembering. Ellen Friedman.
Yes, I'd like to remember my dear friend Alan Brown, whose heavenly birthday is tomorrow. And my friend Laura Frick, who had a memorial service last Friday. And my mother and my father, Mildred and Henry Friedman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ellen. Amy, would you like
Yeah,
to?
I have I'm gonna cry. And my dad's yard site tomorrow of Ron and Danielle Handley. I see Rebecca Waite's husband, Rivka Hana, Audrey, Minnie the dog, Denise DeAngelis, one of my friends from high school, Queen Jane, and this little boy Wesley, who was only 5 years old. And
Amen. Thank you, Amy. Marvin Gruber.
C.R. Rao,
Thank you, Marvin.
one of the 5 best statisticians in the world. He recently passed away at 102.
Wow. Thank you, Marvin. Joanne.
Yes, I'd like to remember Joe Amato, Dee Stelzer, and my parents, Herb and Helen Barron.
Thanks, Joanne. Sephora remembers her grandparents, Mary and Ernest Hines. And let me go over here. Oh, looks like I did something weird on the YouTube. For Mourner's Kaddish, Andy is remembering Aunt Carol, who was laid to rest today. And let me just double check that we've got everyone. Amen. Okay. Unless we can read the Mourner's Kaddish together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach Yerutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמי ולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ויאמר ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו amen. Ziona adds, Brooks Robinson, aka Mr. Oriole, one of the best Baltimore Oriole baseball players ever. Thank you, Ziona. And that concludes our service today. That was a very nice Ma'ariv to share with everyone. Does anyone have any news they'd like to share before we, any good news, anything going on in your lives you want to share before we say goodnight for the evening? Ellen Friedman, you have a big smile on your face.
Oh, I'm just going to have a wonderful Kiddush luncheon in the sukkah this Shabbat. So I'm all excited about that. My friend Melanie is going to join me. So I'm all excited about Sukkot.
Good. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I'm going to the JCC for Sukkot. They're having a big thing. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Ziona, what's going on with you?
I'm looking forward to Sukkot as well. We got the area ready today. We've had a day after day after day of rain, so it dried out a little bit, and it looks like most of Sukkot will be good weather here. So I'm excited. We're going to put the sukkah up tomorrow, weather permitting.
Man, that's
So
wonderful.
I'm happy about that. And I'm starting a class on Sunday, which should be interesting and exciting, but now there's this work restriction, so I don't know. I'm not going to do it Sunday, but I might just have to Monday. Otherwise, I can't take a week off at the beginning. I'm going to miss too much.
Yeah, it's hard this time of year for Jews. You know, we have a lot of days off that the rest of the world doesn't always understand.
At least it's on the weekend this time, a lot of times. You know, Sukkot and Simchas Torah and Rosh Hashanah were all on the weekend, and I didn't have to explain all those days down to a new supervisor.
Mhm.
But Passover and Shavuot, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh,
Yeah, I totally understand that.
I know I'm already grieving over it, wondering what to do.
Barbara Kirsch adds, for the mourner's Kaddish, Benjamin, her son. We always remember your son, Benjamin, Barbara, and today we remember him as well. Sorry, I missed that. But back to news. Joanne, did you want to share?
I just want to say how much I enjoyed the services, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I mean, I've never experienced anything like it. It was so joyful, never got bored, never got tired. And I loved, you know, when Rabbi Blaine said, don't worry, you're all okay with God. And I thought that was so nice because here, you know, I was raised, you know, I grew up to be in fear. You know, if you're not perfect, if you're not good, you're not gonna, you know, something terrible is gonna happen the following year. And I just love that he so nonchalantly said, don't worry, you're all fine with God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
I'm glad you reflected that today because that was one of my favorite parts as well when he said that.
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yeah, why?
I saw you were unmuted. I didn't know if you wanted to say something.
Well, I bought a reclining chair
Nice. Nice.
and delivered tomorrow.
Very nice. It's good to be comfortable.
Yeah, well, I got rid of the old one today.
Wow. Upgrading. Cool. Well, Mazel Tov. What? No, that's not what you say. Tit Chadash. In Israel, when you get something new, instead of congratulations, you say, you know, Tit Chadash or Tit Chadsha, which means you've been renewed, you're renewing yourself. So Tit Chadash, Marvin. Let me just double check the socials before we go.
You usually say use it in good health.
Use it in good health. Yeah, I mean, that's the American expression.
Is that the American?
I think so, yeah. Barbara says she is needing a sukkah here in Houston. Yeah, this is the time when you need to look for sukkahs in places. Yeah. Well, if anyone's watching who's in Houston, Barbara Kirsch is looking for a sukkah, just so you know. Andy on Facebook, Mr. Gruber, she says, "Thank you, Mr. Gruber, for letting us know about the statistician." So that's good. Thank you for letting us know, Marvin. And
My advisor in graduate school spent a sabbatical with him.
oh wow.
Some of his work, I got the stuff that I did for my dissertation. And he's a very famous guy for statisticians.
Marvin, my husband was a mathematician as well before he retired, so he will be interested to hear that this person passed away. I bet he also knows who he was.
So yeah. What kind of mathematician was he? What was his area?
I don't know, because he worked for the federal government and I am not allowed to know.
Mm.
And he's been retired for 8 years now. I still have no clue. Because like whatever he worked on, I wasn't allowed to know about.
Oh no, I happened to read about it. He died in August, and he was 102. He was living in Buffalo, actually, though. He was the head of the Indian Statistical Institute at one time.
Wow. Lillian Esther Nissim says hello from Buenos Aires. Hi, Lillian. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you. I'm happy you're here. It's always nice to have new people here. Welcome. And yes, Barbara Kerr says, be renewed, Marvin. Tit Hadash. You're getting lots of about the chair we're talking about. Okay. Well, this was a lovely service. Thank you all for joining me. And I hope to see you all. If I'm able to join tomorrow night, I'll be there. But if not, we'll have a Sukkot party on Friday night. Happens to be the first night of Sukkot. So see you all there. Erev Tov.
Erev Tov.
Bye.
Toda rabba.
Bavakasha.